How's everyone doing today? This is your boy Ivan. Today I'm going to react to Video Games Will Kill You by They Will Kill You. Now before I get this started, let me just say that this app has been giving me a lot of problems in terms of the footage is too loud, but you guys can't hear me. And no matter how low I put the volume, this always fucking happens. And it's just really irritating me. So I'm just right now installing a software on my computer to see if I can have better reaction videos. But so far, having a little difficult to using it, so I'm gonna see if I can do this for now. Now, usually I would just talk and give my initial reaction, like, oh shit, type of thing, as the video is playing, but because you're not gonna be able to hear it, I'm just gonna pause the video and then give my thoughts. Will it be annoying? I think it will. I apologize for that, but this is really the only option I have because I have to give you guys something to look forward to. Until the latest death battle and until Ruby, I want to give you guys something to watch. So, without further ado, let's just get this reaction started. The link is in the description down below.
Video games, seen by many as a harmless form of entertainment. But what happens when players get so immersed in the virtual world, they lose touch with reality? Here are 7 video game-related deaths.
They will kill you.
Number 7. Zhang Xiaoyi. After playing the online game World of Warcraft for 36 hours straight, 13-year-old Zhang Xiaoyi jumped to his death from the top of the 24-story apartment building he lived in. In the suicide note he left behind, the boy wrote that he wanted to join the heroes of the game he worshipped. After examining Zhang's diary and school records, several specialists from the Beijing hospital concluded that he had developed an internet addiction and what they considered to be an obsession for unhealthy video games. The suicide generated a public outcry regarding the harmful...
Stop. This kid killed himself because he wanted to join the heroes of the World of Warcraft game. What? Can that be a more stupid reason to kill yourself? Oh, I'm speechless after hearing that. I don't know what the fuck to say. That's ridiculous. Like, why would you... Oh my god, these fucking kids and their games. Let me just finish. Like I said, if I want to say something, I'm just gonna pause it.
Effects that video games like Warcraft may have on minors. Following their son's death, Zhang's parents sued the game's Chinese distributor for 100,000 yuan in compensation, or the equivalent of $12,500 US. The suit also stated that a warning should come with the game to indicate the negative effects it may have on minors if played excessively. Number 6. Zhu Kaoyuan. Ownership of virtual weaponry is not covered by the Chinese legal system. Therefore, claims of theft become invalid because the items are not considered to be real. Zhu Kaoyuan was stabbed in the chest repeatedly by 41-year-old Qiu Chengwei in a dispute regarding a dragon...
I apologize about that, guys. Really interrupted phone call. But anyway, let's continue.
The popular online game Legend of Mer 3. Q and one of his friends had won the item and decided to lend it to Zhu. According to the China Daily newspaper, Zhu then sold the virtual weapon for 7,200 yuan, or over $1,000 US. Q reported the incident to the police. He was informed that since his property was not real to begin with, it was impossible to charge someone with its theft. According to court testimony, Q confronted 26-year-old Zhu at his Shanghai home. Even though Zhu had reportedly promised to give the money back, Q stabbed him in the chest in a fit of rage, thus killing him. Q then turned himself over to the police.
Freeze. Okay. Wow, the second part of this list, and already this got even dumber. This fucking dude killed another dude for a fake fucking sword that they were sold for real money. I have nothing to say. Nothing to say. Let's just finish.
and admitted to have intentionally injured Zhu. He received a life sentence despite the fact that the victim's family pleaded for his immediate death. The incident sparked several debates in China over the property of virtual items. Massive multiplayer online role-playing games, or MMORPGs, have a large number of players that spend time obtaining or upgrading items such as weapons or armors.
I just want to say one thing. If this was a real sword, like gold-plated, like a type of fancy fucking steel that a guy had as a replica of that sword, that's kind of a different story because it's an actual item. And honestly, I read somewhere not too long ago that the pollution in the air is making people dumber. This could probably be the perfect example of this, to kill someone over a fake-ass sword from a game. Now I had something to say. Sorry about that, let's finish.
Therefore, their virtual nature becomes very real for the players involved, and they may also be valued in real currency. As far back as 2003, eBay's gaming section had reached an annual figure of $9 million in trades. Number 5. Dylan Lee Edmondson. 22-year-old Alexandra Tobias was arrested in 2010 for the...
Oh my god, this is getting so dumb, it's actually affecting me. How stupid this shit is.
Murder of her 3-month-old son, Dylan Lee Edmondson. The woman was playing Farmville, a popular game on the Facebook social networking website. A resident of Jacksonville, Florida, Tobias told police investigators that her son's crying interrupted her game, and thus she started shaking him in order to get him to stop. A 911 operator received a call in January 2010 in which Tobias frantically claimed that her infant son had stopped breathing. Initially, Tobias told the authorities that a dog had caused the baby to fall from the couch, at which point he hits his head and consequently stops breathing. However, court documents indicated that the woman later admitted to violently shaking the toddler because he was constantly crying while she was trying to play a Facebook game. The prosecution claimed that Tobias had confessed the murder to her cellmate, Louis Hay, who in turn had given them...
You stupid fucking whore. Okay, this is just even worse. It's one thing to kill yourself over a game. It's one thing to kill someone over a fake sword. But to kill a child... Okay, I gotta chill. I'm sorry. I don't want you to think I'm overreacting, but I'm just so fucking flabbergasted what I'm hearing right now. She killed a child over a game. If this doesn't show that not all women are fit to be mothers, I don't know what does.
A statement. Tobias reportedly had told Hay that she had been brought in for murder. She continued her alleged confession, saying that as she shook her baby, he hit his head on the computer. Phone call records showed that Tobias had told several members in her family that her mother's recent passing had had a significant impact on her psychological state. Investigators suspected that her altered mental state might have contributed to the aggressive reaction that caused Dylan's death. Tobias pleaded for mercy with the court, stating that she was still young, still had ambitions and potential, and that the death of her son was a life sentence in and of itself. Nevertheless, in January of 2011, a year after the death of her son, she was sentenced to 50 years in prison, the maximum amount for second-degree murder.
Good. The bitch should be in jail. Sorry for the jet noises, guys.
Number 4. Aaliyah Turman. Tyrone Spellman's video game obsession led him to commit a gruesome murder where the victim was his own daughter. Spellman, who also went by Anwar Salahuddin, would reportedly spend around 6 or 7 hours each day playing on his Xbox. He had already been playing the video game Ghost Recon for several hours when Aaliyah, his 17-month-old daughter, tripped on the console's cord, causing it to fall on the floor. An enraged Spellman then hit the toddler repeatedly, cracking her skull in multiple places. Subsequent reports claimed that he even threw her across the room several times after pummeling her. The battering she endured at her father's hands was too much for the fragile Aaliyah to recover from, and she died moments later. The incident took place in September 2006, while the girl's mother, who was pregnant at the time, was sleeping in an adjacent room. After beating the child to death, Spellman rushed out of the house, but was later apprehended by police. He attempted to explain his murderous outburst to the authorities by claiming that the Xbox belonged to his brother. It cost $600 and that he did not have the money to compensate him in case the console broke. In the past, the police station had received reports that described Aaliyah living in an abusive and neglectful household. As part of Spellman's defense, his attorney attempted to cast the blame on Mia Thurman, the victim's mother, by stating that Spellman had only confessed in order to protect her. However, the jury would not be swayed, and the 27-year-old Spellman was convicted of third-degree murder, ultimately facing a...
May that little girl rest in peace, because that is just fucking awful. My points cannot be more proven. A mother beat her kids. A mother shook her kid to death. The father beat his kids to death. I think, you know what? Let me just give my thought at the end of the video.
Sentence of 47 years in prison. Number 3.
That's not enough. 47. Give that motherfucker life. You fucking beat the shit out of a kid to death. You deserve fucking beyond life. You almost deserve a death sentence for that. That's disgusting. How fucking dare you? Oh my god.
And
alright, I'll chill.
Wolf. Rebecca Colleen Christie was sentenced to 25 years in jail for neglecting her daughter until she starved to death. According to police reports, Christie would play the online role-playing game World of Warcraft for extended periods of time and often lost touch with the needs of Brandy Wolf, her 3-year-old daughter. While her mother played the fantasy game with her friends, Brandy slowly starved to death. According to a statement released by the U.S. Attorney's Office, the child would often eat cat litter or cat food as her mother would forget to feed her or give her water for hours on end. Sergeant Derek Wolf, Christie's ex-husband, told FBI investigators that he would often come home from work to find his daughter crying and her water glass empty. When she found Brandy unconscious on the floor of her home at the Holloman Air Force Base in Las Cruces, New Mexico, Christie called the paramedics. Doctors could see the toddler's ribs protruding out as she weighed only 23 pounds when she was brought to them. They could not save her, and it was concluded that the main factors which contributed to her death had been malnutrition and dehydration. After Christie's sentencing for second-degree murder and child abandonment, her ex-husband also pled guilty to child neglect and faced a sentencing of up to 3 years in prison. Number 2. Triple homicide in Fayette, Alabama. Life is a video game. Everybody's got to die sometime. According to the Associated Press, this was part of a statement Devin Moore gave detectives upon his arrest for triple homicide. Devin Moore had initially been brought to the police station on June 7, 2003, on suspicion of motor vehicle theft. Once inside the station, Moore took a gun belonging to one of the police officers, then fatally shot officers James Crump, Arnold Strickland, and Leslie Mealer, a 911 dispatcher. Moore then fled the scene in one of the patrol cars. He was apprehended later that day in Mississippi. While in custody, Moore confessed and explained that he had opened fire because he did not want to go to prison. The game Grand Theft Auto...
You didn't fire, you fired because you didn't want to go to prison, so you thought shooting cops was going to help that, right? You really thought that was going to help, right? Congratulations, you fucking idiot.
Vice City was cited as one of the factors that drove Moore to kill. A recent high school graduate, Moore had never been in trouble with authorities prior to his killing spree. He had also enlisted in the Air Force, and his service was due to commence at the end of summer. The violent content within the Grand Theft Auto video game series, as well as Moore's remark upon his arrest, led the victims' families to seek retribution with the video game's developers and marketers. The notion put forward by the leading attorney in the case of Strickland versus Sony was that the video game had taught Devin Moore how to kill. Even though he initially pled not guilty on the 9th of October 2005, Devin Moore was sentenced to death by lethal injection.
Thank you. You fucking deserved it, you stupid motherfucker. I'm sorry. I don't really condone that, but when you do something that stupid, taking innocent lives just because of a fucking video game, you deserve nothing worse. Nothing less than that. I'm sorry. That's just horrible. Someone actually got the appropriate sentences. Alright, let's see what fucked up this number one's gonna be.
Number 1. Daniel Petrick. When he was just 16 years old, Daniel Petrick shot both his parents in a dispute concerning the Halo 3 video game. According to court testimony belonging to his sister Heidi Petrick, Daniel began playing the game when he was housebound after he developed a staphylococcus infection following a ski jet injury. The copy of the game belonged to one of his friends, and Daniel would play it for sessions of up to 18 hours. His parents refused to buy him the game because they felt it was not appropriate due to its adult rating. Moreover, Daniel's father, Mark Petrick, a minister with the New Life Assembly of God, warned him that if he were to find any such violent games in Daniel's possession, he would destroy them. The boy eventually snuck out one night while his parents were sleeping and bought himself a copy of Halo 3. When Susan Petrick, the boy's mother, found him playing the game, she informed his father, who confiscated it and locked it in a safe that also contained his Taurus PT-92 handgun. A week later, on the 20th of October 2007, Daniel used the key he had taken from his father to unlock the safe. He took the game along with his father's pistol. He then went into the living room where his parents were relaxing on the couch. He asked both of them to close their eyes, saying that he had a surprise for them. He shot his mother in the chest, arms, and head, killing her almost instantly. His father's testimony stated that he went numb as soon as he saw blood pouring from his skull. His testimony also stated that Daniel then placed the gun in his hands in an attempt to make the incident look like a murder-suicide. When Daniel's sister and her husband arrived at the house, the boy told her that their parents had been fighting. When she entered the living room and saw what had happened, she called 911. Daniel fled the scene in the family van with a copy of Halo 3 in the passenger seat. He was eventually overtaken by the police, who used a roadblock to stop him. As they were placing him in handcuffs, the boy shouted that his father had shot his mother. In court, he was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 23.
Okay. I think I've seen enough. This almost makes you not ever want to be a gamer. If it ever, God forbid, it ever results in that. Fucking killing your parents, killing your kids, killing yourself. I've heard of stuff like this happening before, but this is easily the worst I've ever seen. I hope you guys don't think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. I'm legit. I'm almost shaking. I'm not fucking around. I'm legit serious. I'm almost shaking right now after hearing this. Oh my god. I don't know what else to say anymore. This is horrible. Alright. But yeah. I'm sorry guys. I apologize, but I apologize for pausing the video, every so often, but because of how loud the video is versus how loud I'm talking over it, you're not going to be able to hear what I'm saying, and I find it annoying, and I know you guys find it annoying, and I very much apologize for that. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, link is in the description down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next reaction. Love you guys.